Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at Fresh Monkey Fiction Operation Monster Force Kiloworg. I'm sorry, the Kiloworg Night Hunter. Now, a lot of people have been waiting for this one. This one is already sold out. I believe they're limited to 1,500 pieces, so there's not too many. But this is, from all understanding, a repaint of the Veteran Williams figure by Maestro. One second. Maestro Union, I believe. A few things are different. It does have different weapons. I believe his pants are a little bit different. He's painted a little bit differently. But if you're interested in picking this up or one that looks like this, you can get that on BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store. That is $95 now. This is an army builder, $85. I'm not really sure how many I'm going to be army building. One, that's how many I'm going to be army building. But I don't know about others. Anyway, here it is. It's hard to really see anything in general. It doesn't have the book, like the flap for the book, like the rest of the Operation Monster Force. Again, this is done by another company for them. It is part of the lore. But on the back, you do have the comic panel talking all about what they are. So, quickly, from what I can understand about the lore, is the Forgotten King came up with a way to make humans werewolves, but they can change at any time that they want to. They don't have to change at a full moon. They can change into human form, and they can fight Dracula, the Dracula soldiers and everything that's part of Dracula, and I forget the other guy's name. Van Helsing. Anyway, there he is. This is a heavy figure, all right? So I'm really excited to get this figure out. But let's get this thing open, take a look at him, see what he comes with. I am so excited. And I got some other, let's say, fictional characters right there, so we can kind of compare a few of them to it. So anyway, let's get to this. But if you like this type of content, you like this Operation Monster Force, you like the Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff that I'm giving you, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something such as this. Okay, so we got this beast out of this packaging, and like I said, these are supposed to be labeled, supposed to be 1,500. This one is 1,012. So if anyone is asking or wondering, I'm assuming they are, here we have a card. It basically tells you that, hey, these things might need to be heated up. I kind of messed around with it a little bit. I haven't heated up. There it is in, I believe this is Chinese, but here it is in English, telling you all about it. They do give you this poster telling you that it is the Night Hunter. All right, Operation Monster Force, Big Bad Toy Store, Maestro Union right there. It says the Forgotten King has returned. So, pretty interesting. And actually, that's actually some nice thick stock used on that paper there. So, all right, there is a lot here. I'm going to do my best. I really don't think I'm going to change him into a wolf. A wolf, does that make people happy? I know it bothers people. They say I say wolf wrong. Anyway, let's get right into this. So we'll start with the accessories right away. So you are able to take all of this off and make him just a regular naked wolf. All right. So what you're going to have here is the fur piece. Now I have a feeling this could be used for something else. If you have a figure that you want to kind of put a pelt over, the design looks real nice on it. It's hard to tell if there's any paint to it or if it's just the shadows that everything is making, but it seems pretty flexible, pretty pliable, so you don't really have to worry about that. You're still gonna be able to move the arms, it looks like, and along with the headpiece. Here we have different legs, very muscular, fur down the torso, I can't think of what that's called. Around the crotch area. All right. His extra arms. Now, I might change these out because you can make them have just a vest, or you can have it actually a sleeved jacket. Lots of hands. So here we have a couple trigger hands. Get the black fingernails. I mean, I feel like there has to be some sort of paint in that. I mean, there is. Sometimes it's hard to tell. But you have this nice, what looks like it's maybe a gray paint inside of it. But just the way the light hits it, the shadows, it gives it way more feel and way more depth and realistic look to it. Now, these will also be for the shoulder pieces. So if you're going to put the arms on there, you obviously have to put it over here. So when you're using the butterflies. All right. Here we have a couple open hands on the left and the right. Nice long nails. Do you have long nails here? Yep, about the same length. But look at that. I love the way they curl. The detail in the palm. All right. They seem to actually move fairly easily. Then we get a couple more open hands. So all in all, we have 4 sets of hands, because obviously there's 2 hands on them. But the detail looks really nice on it. All right. Here's his vest or his jacket, whichever you want to use. So you can make this into a vest. You can make it into a jacket. Looking at this, it is actually pretty sweet here. So you have the buttons here painted nicely, and they do look like real buttons. I'm trying to feel if they are. Now I'm interested. No, I guess they're actually just part of the plastic. I thought maybe they were molded in there. This looks like it's nice and worn. All right, so you have some wear here. The pockets have some nice wear. The color and the texture is awesome. This here, it actually looks like it would be the fur. I think we all had vests or those big fluffy jackets as kids, but you can see how pliable this is. So I don't think this can be a problem to put it on him at all. There's actually more here than I was really assuming that there was or thinking that there was. All right. He has some shotgun shells, 4, and they all plug right into his belt, so that's actually pretty cool. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a shotgun. He has a bunch of bullet belts. All right, so nice long bullet belts. Bullets are painted, and I think these are going to fit perfectly for the size of weapon that he has here. And it looks like they're going to plug in, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Here we have one for him to wear. So again, you can use it on any figure that you want. Again, this is the type of world building that I absolutely love when it comes to this scale of figures. And then here we have a second one, and this one plugs in too. So do they both plug in? Nope, only this one plugs in, so he can wear this one also. Or you can probably plug it in. I'm looking at it. I'm not sure. You should be able to plug that one in too. If I stop dropping it, that is. So hopefully you can plug these both in. We'll take a look and see. I'm assuming they're going to plug into it. All right. So then he has his big predator claw. Now, I do hate that they do these claws and they tend to push together like this. Because that's obviously not the way that it's supposed to look. Because you want it to be separate a little bit. It would be nice if they put some sort of piece of cardboard just in between that would kind of keep it separated the whole time. What you do after that is on to you, but it does have a nice wash, so it looks worn. The silver looks really good. A couple little, it's not serration, but something that he can use to catch. Probably cut in a little bit more, make it a little bit nastier. Then we have the clamps now. I'm assuming this just fits right over. Yep, so it doesn't come off, though they do a good job of making it look like it should. I don't think I'm missing that. Anyway, that looks nice. Then we have this giant minigun. Now, before anyone asks, Gridiron did not do these weapons. All right, these are not Gridiron weapons. They will be doing that coming shortly. All right, so we got the nice handle here. You can hold it up top here. It already kind of looks better than what G.I. Joe's did. I'm going to spin. So the barrels do spin. Unfortunately, there's no plug for blast effects. A nice wash definitely makes it look like it's been worn. Almost looks like it's supposed to be bullets around it, but I don't think it is. It's just the design of it. And right there is where you can see that we can plug the bullet belt into it. So we can try that really quickly. So this is the one that actually plugs into itself. And that one does not plug in. So we take this one here, and that one does not plug in. Alright, so there it is. Alright. And if you look, it does not fit. It is too wide. Now can I plug this side in? And I can plug the bullets in here, but then they're upside down. So it looks like if you want this to work, you might be able to... I guess you... Oh, okay, so you can squeeze it in. It's just a little bit too big. But I guess maybe that keeps it from coming out. But I also feel like when you try and push that thing in there, you're going to end up putting stress on the bullets and eventually breaking that off. So it does fit in. At least this side does. And then if we do the same with this one here, actually the bullets would be upside down. So this one is not meant to go in there. Although we can probably, same as that one, kind of squeeze it in there. But the bullets are upside down. So you don't want to use it. You want to make sure you don't lose this one. That thing is going to punch it. Plug in just like that. The handle has a nice little grip on top, or some detail. It looks like a little cheese grater there. But all in all, it looks pretty good. It is nice and straight. This is a little bent. No big deal. I'm not going to complain about that. But I do need to point it out. All right. And then we have two other head sculpts. So we have a very angry werewolf. Nice orange eyes. Got those teeth. The inside of that mouth looks amazing there. Put those glasses there so I can see a little bit better. Teeth are good. I mean, they look like they're supposed to be pretty beaten up. But just the hair, the fur, not the fur, the ears. Here he has a scar across his eyes. But I think the paint looks pretty good. Then we have this one, which I really like. Looks like is he smoking a cigar, or I'm not really sure what he's supposed to have. Because it comes bent, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be bent. There, we straighten it out. Eyes look the same. I love how the teeth are just kind of sticking up here. He's kind of got a scowl on him. But this one looks awesome. And I think that is supposed to be a cigar or a cigarette or something. If somebody knows, please tell me in the comments. But again, everything else looks the same as the other ones, and it's going to plug directly into the back of the head there. All right. Now we'll take a look at this big, giant beast. And as you can see, I have these other figures around, so we'll be able to kind of compare them. Now, I am wondering, how well is this guy going to stand? Because that is all that you have to stand him. I guess I got him to stand there, but I feel like he's going to be a little wobbly, especially on this table, okay? I've already mentioned this table numerous times. So anyway, let's take a look at this guy. See how he looks, see how he poses. Let's see if we can actually pop a couple things off, just so you guys can see how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to go. So quickly looking at this head, this is where he loses the cigar or whatever. Again, I like this. I mean, I love the angry face, but this here, the way the teeth stick up, is amazing. I think that looks awesome. So you have these nice eyes here. He has a very similar jacket because it's meant so it can be worn with these sleeves with either this jacket or this big long trench coat, which I think it's hard to dislike this trench coat. Left a nice space for his tail that we'll kind of mess around with. That little paint right there, you can see these supposed to be like some sort of buttons or snaps. I think that looks good. The wash is good. You can see that this is worn. He's been wearing this for quite some time. All the wear around the neck. All right. Looking at his arms. Okay. Once again, we can see all the little buttons. The wear around the sleeves that seem to be rolled up. And again, they made it so when you do see inside here, it doesn't show. All right. You have the nice chest. You have your abs. One belt here that can be removed, obviously. That's going to hold your bullets. Nice clasp. It's got some pouches right over there. And then we have a different color for the different belt. So we can pop this off if we, if you don't want that. You just want to have them just have one. You don't want to have them shotgun shells. The camouflage looks good. And then you have this nice wear going all the way down. Some nice calves, the fur there, all the way down here. And then when you get to the feet, you have the black nails that are just kind of sticking out. On the bottom, he has no pegs. He has no pegs for stands. So you people better learn how to stand your figures, how to pose your figures without stands. But this is awesome because if you take him out in the dirt, Ed, this is for you. You already know this because you already have Veteran Williams, I do believe. You can create a bunch of paw prints, which I think is actually pretty cool. All right. Now, as for this guy's, I guess we forgot to mention, or I forgot to mention, the bunch of dog tags on the chain. Now, this is not not metal. It is rubber, so it will eventually snap, but it's very pliable, very movable, and you can pop it off, it looks like, without even taking off his head. So I think taking off his head might be easy enough. All right. So, as for this guy's articulation, you can look up pretty good, to be honest. You can't look that far down. Turn side to side. This fur behind it, I didn't realize, is separate. So that moves around. He's actually really smooth. Now this plastic does feel better than the other Operation Monster 4 stuff. So I'm going to assume that this is coming out of a way different factory. There he has his bicep swivel. He does not have double joints, but they are pinless. All right, 90 degrees there. Wrists move in and out. And again, it is cold here in Michigan. I did just get him today, but I did warm him up. I let him warm up. All right, so he has a diaphragm cut, which with this big trench coat is definitely going to be hard to move him too far, but he does turn side to side, and also at the waist. He can crouch over like that, not bad, and then he can go back. There's his Jean-Claude Van Damme. No drop down hips. He does not have any type of, so I'm looking here. He has no thigh cut. Okay, we can see it over here. There's no thigh cut. That would definitely break up the muscularity on the figure. But it's also going to hamper a lot of the articulation. All right. As for the knees, just taking this really slow. They're not double jointed, pinless, and he goes up, I'd say a little bit more than 90. All right. Down here, it swivels back and forth. He can move back and forth this way. I already feel these guys are going to stand better than these gargoyles. Basically, they have the exact same type of articulation that the gargoyles have. Then his feet are going to move back and forth, swivel back. So maybe he won't have too many issues because he does have this second set. So where G.I. Joe figure, the Operation Monster Force figures like that, they have this thigh cut. He might not have an issue because all this other stuff rotates too. All right. Now the question is, how easily does he stand? God, he's a big boy. I don't think he's going to be maybe that bad. All right. I mean, I'm even get him to stand again after moving around. So let's pop off this head. See how difficult it is. Now again, if you feel like you're going to break these figures, especially something like this, let's take a second, go heat them up. Nothing on here is cloth, so I would prefer to do hot water rather than a blow dryer or especially a heat gun. All right, so that popped off. Remember, you're going to want to use this here. And same with if you decide to use this piece here. All right. I am interested in getting this off. So I think I'm going to heat this guy up so we can pop some pieces off him. I kind of want to see him, kind of when I'm running around without sleeves. I don't know why, just it sounds fun. So let me go heat this guy up so we can pop it off. We'll see how difficult he is. Again, you don't pop the legs off, you do pop the waist off. And that can definitely be a little scary because then you have to pop off the knees right down here. But all this stuff looks like it's just going to kind of plug and play. So give me a second. All right, so he has been heated up. Again, I like to use hot water, not boiling water, hot tap water. This way it heats up completely through the figure. Man, that came off. Actually, wow. That comes off super easy. All right. So I'm going to tell you, you're not going to have any issues because hot water popped this guy off nice and easily. So this piece here, all right, this is what I was kind of showing you. These here, all right, you can feel the difference there. That there is if you're not going to use the jackets. Now I don't know, for some odd reason, I want them to have a a vest like this. So that's what we're going to do with this guy. Make sure we get the right arm here. Man, yeah, this stuff comes off really easy. So now I didn't heat the other pieces that are going into it. All right. So there's that. He's gonna be a stylish werewolf, and everything's staying pretty warm for a fairly relative long amount of time. So throw this on here. Now again, if you wanted to go with these legs, you could. I don't want a naked werewolf. That's all up on you. All up to you, not up on you. And we forgot to look at his tail too. Well, pop them back together. We'll take a look at that. Oh, actually, I want the bullet belt. Look at that. See that little bit of paint there on those clasps? It really goes a far way, but just all in general, that thing looks really nice. Really put a lot of detail in just that type of stuff. Just it shows that a company cares and that they're trying to do their best to make the best figure possible. All right, I will say this, with him being heated up, I wouldn't be surprised if he falls over fairly easy. All right, so there he goes. He's a we'll just say he's from the suburbs. All right, and we'll throw this piece over him. Just got to figure out which way it's supposed to go. And then Mr. Straight Edge himself likes the idea of having this wolf's head with what looks to be a cigar or whatever it is. He's smoking something, right? But might have to heat the head up just to get that thing to pop right on. All right, we're gonna heat this up for 1 second so we can pop this on, because that is pretty difficult. All right, so I finally got the head on. It was a struggle, not gonna lie. Not the most fun in the world. So I would say fine, whatever. Actually, I was able to get this head on without a problem. I didn't even heat this one up. It went on. But man, this one here. So let me know if you got this figure, if you had the same problem. Because I have a feeling most people are going to want to put this. Although it's super soft. So it's going to be hard. Everything I say is coming out wrong. It's going to take a little while to get that into the position that you want it to be. All right. So I did not heat the whole figure up to get that on. I just did the head, because you actually want to leave, even though these are harder to, you'd have to get it real hot to make that soft. You want that to plug in to what is the soft spot. All right. So here's his tail. Forgot to look at it. It does have all different articulating points, but it doesn't move all that much, but enough. All right. So here we go. Now quickly, if you do want to mess around with a couple things, here is Timber from G.I. Joe. Now you can put the head on. You need a little bit of sticky tack. The coloring is a little off, but maybe you want to make it so this is in the background. You have an extra timber, maybe you don't have an extra timber. All right. So you need some little bit of sticky tack, and you kind of plop it on right there. I think this was actually the one that I put on. So, all right. So, I'm trying to get this guy to stand up really quickly. This was the original one that I grabbed. All right. Kind of do it on timber, no problem. Again, a little bit too big. This one here doesn't fit because this hole is actually smaller than that one. So probably the same issue is with that head. These all have different holes for the head, which doesn't make things it doesn't make things real easy. So again, do what you want to do. Enjoy your figures the way you want them. This is taking longer than I expected, although I knew that might be, I knew it might take longer because of this. So anyway, all right, pop this arm off, or this fist. Take our big Predator blade, which is much bigger than the Predator blade that I have. Of course, when you look for the Predator, you can't find them. And how far up? What hand do we need to use for this? Because it doesn't leave a huge gap there. Alright, there we go. So here you can have a nice little swapping or slicing. He's attacking somebody. He's attacking one of the vampires right here. He's obviously shooting at him. Alright. As for the Gatling gun, and I hesitate to call this a mini gun because there's nothing really mini about this. Alright. I'm assuming we can grab either one. It's just going to kind of slide over just like that. And you are not aiming with this. What I do like is that they made this move back and forth just a little bit. So it's going to give you a little bit better of posing. Something that I don't think most of the miniguns have done that we've seen, right? Now some blast effects would go really far with this figure. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. So he's really loose right now because he's still warm. But you're able to stand him nice and easily. I don't think that's a problem there. And he falls down. It does worry me when I heat him up and you start moving it around. You want to make sure you don't loosen. The figure doesn't get that loose, or else you're going to have that problem with what he just did. All right. As for the shotgun shells, which I don't know don't make a lot of sense considering he's not running around with a shotgun. But we're just going to hopefully plug these things right in there. I'll tell you what, everything is difficult on this thing. At least on camera. If you're not doing everything on camera, maybe not as difficult. But the way that I do my reviews, if you are wondering, please take a second, hit that like button. And normally they go the other way, but I was struggling to get them on. So if you take them apart, I would say put these things on while it's off. Because, man, this big old beast gets in the way. That is for sure. So there's one. Again, I really want to watch me struggle with all four. But I think we'll leave it at that. And we'll do some pictures later. But they do fit in there. This is pliable enough. Alright. So there he is. Now let's get to some comparisons of how he fits with how big he is compared to the other figures. Alright, so size comparison. Here he is next to the two of the other Operation Monster Force figures. We got one of the vampires, and then we got one of the Forgotten King's soldiers. Again, these are based on a 6-inch buck, so this whole line is supposed to be based on a 6-inch. But again, when you're talking about creatures like this, it doesn't really matter if they're a little bit taller or shorter. So there he is compared to these two right here. Alright, we'll put them right to the side. We will grab the hyena, this AWOC figure, which is an amazing figure. If you have not seen my review, check it out. Here's another AWOC figure that I recently did a review on. And again, you can see how much bigger they are. Again, these ones work with 6-inch figures too because they're, again, taller than them, but no one really cares because who knows how tall a hyena humanoid would be. All right, and here is Frankenstein's creature. All right, from the Four Horsemen, and you can see they're roughly the same size. He's much thicker, so this guy is a beast, and I absolutely love the fact that Dr. Mindbender can work with him or whoever. So I think these two match up pretty well against each other, and again, something that will fit in with their lore pretty well. Here is that Predator that I was talking about. Now this guy is actually a little bit taller, it looks like. Much thinner, but the Predators are they're a Predator. You can imagine him being a little bit smaller. Now you can probably make this guy stand a little bit taller if you really wanted to. Just due to the fact that, well, you would adjust the feet. But I'm not sure that's really what you want. And Frankenstein's creature doesn't want to stand up. Here is Nemesis Immortal. Now this guy seems like a big giant Joe figure. I do have him kind of kneeling in some ways, but you can already tell he's a much bigger figure than this guy. So great figure for him to fight, considering he's just so much bigger than other figures. And then I will grab a Goliath from the Gargoyles. And they stand roughly about the same. Photography going up against this guy I think would be absolutely amazing. They really fit together awesome. So there you go. That's kind of how they size up, or this guy sizes up against many of these other figures that I know many of us collect. So, all right, let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That is my Operation Monster Force Kiloworg review. This guy is a beast. I knew he was a beast. I didn't realize exactly how big he actually is. How heavy he is, the fact that he stands as tall as a Goliath, and just a little bit shorter than a Predator, but the Predator is so much thinner. That's why this guy is $85. That is why the Veteran Williams cost $95. That one is still available. Again, cool looking figure. I think you need them for your lore, if that's what you're going for, if you're a completist. But yeah, I don't know how often we're going to see these figures being this big. Made by a different company. Maybe they'll do a different werewolf. It's hard to say. But anyway, if you are interested, they are sold out on BBTS. I'm not sure if they're going to have any more. Again, 1,500 pieces is not a lot of pieces. So check for them. If not, maybe you're going to just go ahead and order that Veteran Williams on BBTS. So I am going to get out of here. You stayed this long. I definitely do appreciate it. So take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something of Operation Monster Force, anything from Fresh Monkey Fiction that I do. Now I'm going to get out of here, but what I am going to do is I'm going to leave you with a review for another Operation Monster Force figure, and down here will be the playlist of all the Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff that I've done. Take care.